wide variety of ways, then we won't have that food security that is so important to us here in our country and our own communities. And in particular here in New Mexico and in our tribal communities where we have really unique and diverse approaches to food access and that importance culturally as well as beneficial to everybody in a lot of different ways. So a few things that are a little more specific to New Mexico, so that we look at how the Farm Bill affects us right here in our own communities, which can be unique to, say, our neighboring states next door, Colorado, Arizona, and Texas, and then also in Mexico, our neighboring country nearby. And thinking about what are our needs here. In New Mexico, the majority of what is grown and raised here, which is agriculture, is the third largest economy in the state, and about 95% of that is exported. A majority of that, a third of it, is dairy. So we have a lot of dairy production in New Mexico. Pecans, we cannot eat all the pecans that we grow and produce here in New Mexico, so the majority of them are exported and even out of the country. So just a couple of examples of like, that's part of it. But a big part of what's happening in New Mexico, what's so important is food and growing food in this state and in our tribal communities, as you know. So just thinking about what we need here and what's unique to New Mexico can be a little bit different for other states. Yet the Farm Bill is all-encompassing. And the idea is that this is the opportunity for us to weigh in on what's really going to benefit us here in this region. A few things we want to just share, thinking about the Farm Bill around nutrition programs, access for farmers and ranchers to be able to, and we'll have that conversation, access some of the really unique programs. We want to think about how the last few years have really significantly changed in many ways how we access food, what's happening in our communities, and it's an incredible time for us to weigh in on the equities and then the inequities in federal programs. So thinking that through, a few things I just want to start off, and our panelists are really going to share out and deepen this conversation around. Ensure that equity is in all policies. And what does that mean? It means that everybody has access to these programs in their own unique way, individuals, families, and communities. Ending hunger in our communities, of course, huge issue here in New Mexico. Increasing access to farm programs. Our panelists will speak a lot to that. What does that mean? Not all programs are accessible to our farmers and ranchers. So how can we change this Farm Bill to make sure that they are accessible? Meet climate change and climate crisis head on. Huge issue. I know Terry is going to actually have to really help us understand that a little bit more. Ensure safety and dignity for workers. So who is out there working with our farmers and our ranchers to make sure that food ends up on our tables and in our communities? And then protect our farmers and consumers with various programs that are part of that Farm Bill. So I'm going to stop there and actually pass the baton to Clarence Hogue and Alan Bauer. And Clarence